Green flag is now in the air, signaling that everything is ready for the starting procedure to begin. He surprised everybody and he goes into the race lead. Fantastic start. So, there's a big crash. Around the outside and he takes the second place.
A warm welcome to everyone joining us from all over the world. We're here at a beautiful and sunny, finally, Autodrom Most in the Czech Republic for round number 4 of the Formula 4 Central European Zone Championship. We are here on a starting grid for race number 2. Its starting grid being created by the results of the opening race of this weekend, and once again, no surprise, it's been CEZ Motorsport who dominated proceedings in race number 1, with, of course, Gino Trappa once again taking pole position for the first race and winning it as well. Of course, now he's going to start from pole in race number 2 as well, but watch out for his teammates, of course, Max Karhan and the other two teammates with Cortez on the front row as well. It's going to be an amazing showing here. The sun is finally out. We have 22 degrees in the air, 29 degrees the temperature of the tarmac, and we are ready for the second race. Of course, today we're going to have 2 races. This one, race number 2, and then later in the afternoon, the final race of this weekend. It's round 4 out of 6 for the season. The 2025 Formula 4 Central European Zone Championship enters its second half of the year. There's only 3 minutes before the start of the formation lap. We're going to go to the commentary booth right now to watch together the images and, of course, all the action from the second race of the season. Tune in with us and let's see who's going to win the second race. Here we are back in the commentary booth for race number 2 of the Formula 4 Central European Zone Championship. Here we are with car number 23, of course, belonging to CEZ Motorsport, the team that has dominating not just this season, but of course the first 2 years of this championship, born in 2023, that saw the Swiss outfit take victory in both occasions. At the end of the season, of course, in both the drivers and the team standings. Here is the starting grid for race number 2. As we said, it's the Genza 1 through 4 with Gino Trappa and Nicolas Cortez on the front row. Max Karhan and Javier Herrera start on the second row of the grid. Watch out for Renauer Motorsport with Heidi Mimasi and Simon Schranz in 5th and 6th. It was a great effort from Bennett Gaspar from Křenek Motorsport in 7th. And of course, the 4 drivers who unfortunately DNF'd yesterday, Chiara Henny, David Walter, Matilda Patz and Theodor Boderstein are starting from the back of the grid. It was definitely a tricky start of the weekend for David Walter. He was coming in from 3rd place in the driver standings before this weekend, and unfortunately he was basically out of contention for the title following the DNF in the opening race of this 4th round of the season. Meanwhile, the formation lap is underway, so we are now ready to follow suit with race number 2 of the Formula 4 Central European Zone Championship. This, of course, gives us the perfect opportunity to talk about the track that we're at this weekend. Autodrom Most is a 4.2 kilometer circuit with 21 corners, 12 to the right, 9 to the left. It is the oldest permanent racetrack in the Czech Republic. Broke ground in 1983, even though the Most region, of course, has plenty of tradition into both car and bike racing ever since the end of the Second World War. We've seen plenty of phenomenal racing through the years here, most notably for single-seaters, of course, Formula 4 championships such as the CEZ adventure that started 2 years ago. But naturally, this is also a track that is well suited for other types of cars, such as TCR racing, of course, holding and hosting here the race of the Czech Republic back in 2021 for the World Touring Car Cup, the World Championships of TCR racing, and then also hosting back in 2001 the European Le Mans series as well here, and a one-off round at the Autodrom Most, which is, of course, then very much known for its action with motorbikes, as it's been the case for the last couple of seasons, with the World Superbike Championship coming to visit Most since 2021. And that was, of course, the highlight of the last couple of years, though naturally we are seeing plenty of more races around this circuit. This weekend, of course, hosting a plethora of series such as the Formula 4 Central European Zone Championship, but there's also TCR Eastern Europe. There is the GT Cup series and various different one-make championships such as the Clio Cup, the Twingo Cup, and the Suzuki Swift Europe. So Gino Trappa is set to start from pole position once again. He's been claiming pole in qualifying for the last 3 rounds, and he has converted the pole taken here on Friday to win on Saturday for race number 1. We will be seeing whether or not he does the same in race number 2, as of course the starting grid is taken by the results of race number 1, as the 5 lights are ready to go off, and we are racing for race number 2 of the Formula 4 Central European Zone Championship. It's a lightning start for Gino Trappa, who has secured first place, unlike yesterday, compared to Nicolas Cortez, who goes a bit wide into turn 1. And say goes for the Tour and Hour Motorsport cars, who almost collide into the opening corner with Heidi Mimasi and Simon Schranz losing positions. And as the field now goes towards turns number 4, we're going to have a better picture of who is the main antagonist of the 4 Genza cars, and it looks to be František Nemec in the Central European Zone Academy car. And here is Simon Schranz having to counter-attack in this part of the race behind František Nemec. Meanwhile, Heidi Mimasi had to rejoin from that off-track that he had. Therefore, he's lost quite a bit of time. Meanwhile, we go towards the Olin Bridge for the first time, as Gino Trappa already has a healthy lead over Nicolas Cortez. Meanwhile, here is Simon Schranz, and he has, in fact, re-overtaken František Nemec. And therefore, he's back into 5th position. We're starting 6th, right behind Heidi Mimasi, who had to take avoiding action throughout the first part of the lap, especially in turn number 1, as the field now goes through turn 21 and into the second lap of the race. It's Gino Trappa with a healthy 1.1 second lead over Nicolas Cortez, with Max Carhan and Javier Herrera in 3rd and 4th respectively. And then, of course, we saw Heidi Mimasi into the pit lane. Unfortunately, that is not good for him. We saw even an entire front wing in the gravel trap between turns 1 and 2. As now you can see one of the Mafia racing cars under attack from one of the Křenek Motorsport drivers, and that was brilliant overtake, at least for David Goršica. And now you can see behind him as well Romain Bouquet and Nikolai Divdev fighting for a spot in the top 10, right outside the points paying position so far, as Andreas Lobue is holding 10th position. Meanwhile, here is Hedi Mimasi. He's changed his front wing and is now back out on track, but unfortunately he does so in 18th and last place. Still in the lead is Gino Trappa, as the Argentinian, let's not forget, he is fighting for the championship and comfortably leading thus far, thanks to all but one race finished on the podium. And meanwhile, there's a huge off track for car number 69, and that is Benet Gaspar. And I think he has a problem with his suspension. Yeah, it looks like his front left suspension is definitely faulty. Sorry, rear left suspension is definitely not okay. And the Hungarian looks to be out of the running, unfortunately. He was running in the top 7. Such a shame for Benet Gaspar. He had lovely pace yesterday for race number 1. But unfortunately, a damaged suspension takes him out of the race. You can see the rear left completely out of position. He dipped a tire or two on the grass, sorry, on the gravel actually, on the outside of turn 20. And unfortunately, that is race over for Benet Gaspar, as he parked his car near the barriers on the main straight. Meanwhile, there is once again the drone images that let us see just how big Gino Trappa's gap has become. It was 1.6 seconds on the start finish line, but I'm guessing now it could be well over 2 seconds. But we'll be needing to wait until they cross the start finish line for lap number 3, starting the 4th one. Meanwhile, Simon Schranz has solidified 5th place. Here we are with David Walter, who's already up to 7th. Let's not forget, he was starting all the way back from 16th position after contact with Matilda Paz took him out of the running in the opening race, but he's already up into 7th. Meanwhile, here's the fight involving Walter himself and František Nemec. Car number 17 currently holding 6th position ahead of the Dane, who was fighting for the championship up until yesterday, and then unfortunately he lost 25 points to Gino Trappa following the Argentine's win on the opening day of racing here in Most, and of course Walter's retirement from it. Meanwhile, up in front is Gino Trappa with a 1.5 second gap over Cortez, who just set the fastest lap of the race, however. So does the Mexican have some underlying pace to be able to catch Trappa and fight for his first win? Cortez finished 2nd yesterday, which was his best result of the season. He had finished on the podium only once earlier in 2025, with a 3rd place finish in Salzburg last weekend. Meanwhile, here we see once again Nimitz and Walter fighting hard for 6th position. This is helping David Goršica and the Křenek Motorsport driver catching back up to the pair fighting for 6th. As now Walter will have the slipstream towards turn number 1. Will he be able to make the move stick into the opening corner, or will he be too far behind? I think the second option might be the case here. And the same goes for the fight right behind them, as Goršica keeps 8th position, and then we see a fight between the two Mafia cars. And meanwhile, here's the move from David Walter up the inside of turn 6. The chicane providing a very unusual overtaking opportunity, but Walter took it with both hands, and he's now up into 6th position, overtaking František Němec. And now he can try and go and catch Simon Schranz, who's only 2.5 seconds ahead of the Dane. Naturally, this is Walter's fight to lose, as he has proven to be likely one of the quickest cars in the entire season, potentially even the best non-Genza driver throughout this 2025 campaign, which has seen a tremendous effort from the Swiss outfit, though Walter, racing with Mafia, has been the prime antagonist of the Genza dominance this season. Watch out now for Němec as he goes wide into turn 21, giving Gorshica the chance to overtake him. And then, of course, it's also Andres Lobouet, who is now moving to the inside. And Lobouet takes the place with the other Mafia car. And behind them, there's also the fight between Romuald Bouquet, Matilda Paz, and Nikolai Dirvdev, and Theodor Borenstein, with two of the Mafia cars fighting hard against one another. And we saw Matilda Paz moving up the inside of Romuald Bouquet a couple of seconds ago even, as of course the German driver was the first female driver this season to score a podium in race 3 at the Red Bull Ring in the 2nd round. Let's not forget, we've had 3 rounds so far, all of them in Austria. The first 2 at the Red Bull Ring, and then the 3rd one at the Salzburg Ring, before of course coming here in Most for round number 4. Meanwhile, here is the Genza situation once again, as Gino Trappa leads ahead of Nicolas Cortez and Max Carhan. Meanwhile, Javier Herrera is into 4th. And the last lap, Gino Trappa set the fastest lap of the race. Meanwhile, goes one of the Genzas, and that is Max Carhan, who had to go deep into turn 1 and had to take avoiding action, therefore losing the place to Herrera. And the Mexican now makes it a Central/South American podium, with Argentina's Gino Trappa in 1st, and then the 2 Mexicans, Nicolas Cortez and Javier Herrera, in 2nd and 3rd. I mean, that is not what the hometown hero Max Carhan, who is from the Czech Republic, wanted. Unfortunately, missing his braking point into turn 1 and having to lift off the throttle to take avoiding action in the runoff area, which is very similar to the one that we have in Monza, on the track that suits Formula 4 racing brilliantly. Meanwhile, here is David Walter fighting hard against his car throughout the latter part of the racetrack to try and catch back up to Simon Schranz in a fight for 5th. As we are through the first 11 minutes of racing, we still have 14 more to go. Here is Gino Trappa working hard to take that win, which would of course propel him even further up in the standings. Now his only rival being Max Carhan, though of course he is now down to 4th. Meanwhile, here's another fight, and that is the 2 Mafia cars trying to get by one of the Křenek Motorsport, and that is Bouquet losing the place to Theodor Borenstein, with Nikolai Dirvdev right behind. That is the fight for 11th position, and they are 3.5 seconds off the top 10, which currently sees Matilda Paz score points once more. There will will be great for her after starting in penultimate position after a challenging first race that saw her out of the running following a crash with championship hopeful David Walter, who's now impressively into 6th position and almost 5th as he gets ready to fight against Simon Schranz for that position. We'll see whether or not he'll actually be able to climb back into the top 5. Meanwhile, here is Dirvdev lining up a move on Bourquet. Will he be able to do that right here in turn 20? The answer is no, but just for now, he looks to be very set on taking that position, maybe towards turn number 1. We'll see, as the two of them go towards the hardest braking zone of the entire circuit, as Dirvdev moves to the inside, taking 12th position away from Bouquet. And that is a lovely move for what is effectively 12th place. Meanwhile, in front, the gap between Trapa and Cortez has grown exponentially to 3.5 seconds. The Mexicans seem to have some good pace early on, but then there was nothing and no one who could stop Gino Trapa once again, especially in long run stints. He looks to be so much quicker than the rest of the field, having of course the experience of the Spanish F4 campaign that he's sustaining this year too. That is not something to take lightly, naturally, because he is using that to his advantage, being able to show his pace. Speaking of pace now, here is Max Carhan, who has moved back into 3rd, overtaking Herrera a couple of laps ago, and now he is to the back of Cortez, maybe looking for 2nd place, which would be vital in his championship hopes, as he looks to be Trapa's main and potentially only rival in this latter part of the year. He will have to need a phenomenal final part of the season though, and that is not something that will be easy to achieve. Now the two Jetta drivers being caught by their teammate as well, and that is Javier Herrera moving ever so closer to the podium. He will naturally be looking at doing that, but we'll see whether or not he could actually make the move stick. But before that, I think we're going to see a fight between Cortez and Carhan for 2nd position. Gino Trapa in front, 4.5 seconds. He's been absolutely smashing it in the 2nd half of this race. With now less than 9 minutes to go, he's left his teammates hung out to dry, and there's no way that he is losing this win, if not for external forces, which of course he's hoping not to see. Meanwhile, we have Simon Schranz with David Gorshica right behind. The latter part of the Křenek Motorsport team trying to attack the Renauer Motorsport car. Schranz was being overtaken by Walter a couple of laps ago and has now dropped 3 seconds behind him. And there's also Andreas Lobue, the other Mafia driver, up into 8th. This will be a 3-way fight for 6th probably. see whether or not we can actually get a fight going on between these three, as Lobue now tries to reel in the Křenek Motorsport driver of Gorčica. Naturally, this is such an important moment for the race, given how quick the Genza cars have been. There's no real opportunities to fight for anything that is not 5th place, if not for potential issues for any of the top candidates. And therefore, David Walter has been flying away with this race win. Well, not race win, but the win, if you could call it that, for 5th position, and that best of the rest title that seems to be his so far. Not much that he can do is that against such a powerful team such as Genza, who has had the absolute best car this year and potentially even the best drivers. As now it's just 6 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock. We look to be inside the last 6 minutes of racing, as the fight for 6th place between Simon Schranz, David Gorčica and Andreas Lobue is ready to kick off. Meanwhile, Gino Trappa has a 5-second gap over Nicolas Cortez, who's now hunted down by his two teammates, compatriot Javier Herrera in 4th and home hero Max Carhan in 3rd. This was the exact finishing order in the top 4 in race 1, which of course has created the starting grid for race number 2, and that is as per usual for Formula 4. Let's not forget that race 3 will instead see the top 8 reversed, as the ballot has elected that those will be the positions reversed from the finishing order of race number 1. And so Gino Trappa will start down in 8th place, meaning that he will have the work cut out for him in the next race, which, let's not forget, will take place later today at 15:20 local time. We're now into the final 5 minutes of racing, as Gino Trappa has a healthy lead, as you can see, over his 3 teammates, who are pretty matched on pace. Behind them, David Walter is 7 seconds behind. But let's not forget that Walter was starting down in 16th for today's race, so it's already a miracle that he was able to carve through the field the way he did. He was already in the top 10 after the opening lap of the race, and up into 7th by the time he crossed the line for the 2nd time at the end of lap 2. Then slowly but surely moving up to 5th, closing the gap on Simon Schranz, who had a hefty advantage, but not hefty enough to keep Walter behind. You can see just the difference in pace, as Schranz is now almost 9 seconds behind Walter, now under attack from Gorčica, who looks to the outside into turn 1. Meanwhile, also Matilda Paz has joined the party. She's climbed from 17th up to 9th. Of course, she is one of the quickest drivers this year, taking a podium finish and currently in the top 7 in the driver standings. So she is used to being in front of these guys usually, but now she has her work cut out for her. Look at how Gorčica is studying the lines of Simon Schranz, looking where his rival could be more vulnerable, and maybe turn 13 could be an opportunity here. It's quite tough, however, to overtake in these parts of the racetrack. Therefore, he is following suit now, even though there's Andreas Lobue, who's quite close to him now, together with Matilda Paz, whereas Simon Schranz has taking a bit of a lead compared to what they are doing. And that is definitely not what Gorczyca wanted, even though now the Křenek Motorsport driver is closer to the back of Schranz thanks to a great final part of the lap. Here we see Matilda Parts quite close to the back of Lobu as well. Trying, of course, very hard to climb back some positions. Meanwhile, the situation has not changed up top. The 4 Gentle cars remain as they were a couple of minutes ago, and actually Karhan looks to have lost a bit of time compared to Nicolas Cortez, who has therefore gained a bit of time. And naturally this is all in favor of the Mexican, who was able to gain a bit of time on his rivals. Karhan, who was finally off with a win in Salzburg after having struggled quite a bit throughout the opening parts of the season. He was then able to recover nicely in the second half of the year. Meanwhile, we are now starting what is looking to be the final lap of the race with just 1 minute and 12 seconds to go. Gino Trappa has a 6.7 second lead over Cortez in second position. Karhan is third, 9/10 behind the Mexican, and now with Javier Herrera for company. Herrera is in fact fourth, just behind Karhan. Walter is comfortably into fifth. He actually has been catching the back of the 3 Genza cars in front of him, not Gino Trappa of course, but he is still 6 seconds behind. So he will not be able, unfortunately, to catch back up to them in a way that would give him the opportunity to finish on the podium today. I mean, it would have been an incredible feat if that were to happen. Unfortunately, that is not the case, as through the last couple of corners comes Gino Trappa, Jensen Motorsport driver, and of course the championship leader, doing a phenomenal job today as well. Everyone was waiting for him to confirm his pace shown in the first 3 rounds of the season. Well, that is exactly what happened here in Most, as Gino Trappa takes a commanding victory in race number 2 at the Czech racetrack and extends his championship lead even further following another incredible performance. It was an amazing time for Gino Trappa, and once again Jensen Motorsport claiming a 1-2-3, taking all the spots available on the podium and then some, with Herrera in 4th. Walter finishes in 5th, and Simon Schranz somehow defends his position up until the end. It's a second consecutive finish in the top 6 for Simon Schranz, as Gorczyca finishes 7th, Lobu in 8th, Matilda Paz in 9th, and Theodor Boderstein from last place on the grid is able to claim the final points paying position. Such a shame for Hayden Massey as well, as the Canadian had his front wing damaged on the opening corner of the race, and he therefore had to pit and lose all chances for a potential podium or even a top 5. And that was very unfortunate, but that is sometimes the way racing goes. No problems of the sort, however, for Gino Trappa, as he comfortably finished in the lead, taking yet another victory in commanding fashion here in Autodrom Most. Genzo once again locking out the entire top 4. That is something we've been used to seeing not only this weekend, but this season in general, as of course just Max Karhan and Gino Trappa remain in the fight for the title. David Walter was the other driver who could potentially play a big part, but yesterday's DNF left him hung out to dry in this fight for the title. But to be honest, it looks like it's Gino Trappa's crown to lose this weekend and this season in general, as he has looked mighty quick throughout this weekend, as he takes his second win this weekend, with Genza once again finishing in a 1-2-3-4 formation, with Nicolas Cortez and Max Karhan rounding out the podium and Javier Herrera in 4th position. It was a phenomenal performance from Matilda Paz as well, together with David Walter, recovering from second to last and third to last respectively, and finishing inside the points in this race number 2 around Most. A lovely time here in the Czech Republic for Formula 4 Central European Zone. And these are the highlights for race number 2. What a lovely time we've had with Formula 4 Central European Zone, at least for races 1 and 2. Let's not forget that we have a final race coming up at 3:20 p.m. local time here from Autodrom Most. But that is everything from race number 2, which saw once again Gino Trappa take the win. Thanks for being with us, and see you guys later for race number 3.
presented by Mr. Josef Křenek. The trophy for the first place goes to Max Karhan. Trophy for second place goes to Nicolas Cortez. And trophy for the winning driver, Gino Troppa. We also present the trophy for the winning team from Switzerland, CEZ Motorsport. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please show your respect to the national anthem of the winning driver, the national anthem of Argentina. Argentinian national anthem for the winning driver, Gino Troppa. And of course, time for champagne! Tak to bylo celkové pódium, a teď pojďme na pódium v kategorii Rookie Rocket. Ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to the Rookie Rocket class podium. Starting with driver in third place, please welcome Matilda Paz. Second place in Rookie Rocket class goes to Andreas Lopez. Driver of Rookie Rocket class, Simon Schranz. Once again, the trophy is now presented by Mr. Josef Křenek. The trophy for the third place goes to Matilda Paz. Trophy for second place goes to Andreas Lopez. And trophy for the big driver in the Rookie Rocket class goes to Simon Schranz. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please show your respect for the Austrian national anthem. The Austrian national anthem for the winning driver in Rookie Rocket class, Simon Schranz. Congratulations. Now please grab your trophies. Let's get together on the top spot and let's have the official photo shoot after the Rookie Rocket class podium. So time for photographs. And one more time, many congratulations to the top three Rookie Rocket class drivers. And let's move on for the best ladies podium, the final podium after the second race of Formula 4. Once again, starting with driver in third place, please welcome Chiara Hennig. In second place, in ladies class, please welcome Michalina Sabai. And the winning driver in ladies class, one more time, please welcome Matilda Paz. Again, the trophy is presented by Mr. Josef Křenek. The trophy for the third place goes to Chiara Hennig. The trophy for second place goes to Michalina Sabai. And trophy for the winning lady goes to Matilda Paz. Congratulations. So let's get together on the top spot again for the photographs. So the moment to take a photo of our top three ladies after the second race in Most. Thank you very much and congratulations.